Welcome everybody, this is Christian from Sterling Knight Gamers, and today I'm very excited about my copy of Game of Thrones the board game, 2nd edition Mother of Dragons expansion. I really loved this game, particularly in a full 6-player game, and I liked the other 2 expansions. I think they improved the game, but they weren't. I would still occasionally go back to the original version, but from what I read about this one, I think this is going to be the new base way that I play this game. So, rulebook, which I will be going over today. Hopefully I'll be organizing a game tomorrow. The new house cards, Targaryen and Aeron. This is just the setup position for both of them. Lots of new tokens and this new board expansion, which I'm definitely curious about actually, because the deluxe board hasn't come out yet. I think I may get it, particularly if I really enjoyed my first game. So I'll see how this. Okay, so yeah, this would just go on the side, where you have the rest of the Westeros edition, and got the new cards. So this is the new Bravo section, which is definitely interesting, where you can go into debt and buy various army units instantly, which is a really interesting dynamic. As well as, this is cool, upgrading a fortress or a castle into a stronghold and all that kind of stuff. A new deck. So we got the House Aeron cards. Same format as before, 1-0, 2 1s, 2 2s, 1 3, and 1 4 for each family. You have it for the Targaryens. This I saw earlier. It's Khal Drogo, but this card gains 1 sword icon and 1 strength for each knights in battle area. After the combat, you remove them from the game. So this is a one-time thing, but it could really add drastically to your army size if you have a lot of knights. That's really cool. So there's actually, this is interesting, so you can use it with the other expansions. There's actually 2 versions of the Targaryens. If you go with the base version of the game, then you play with this set that takes place right in the beginning of Game of Thrones, where Robert has died. But if you do the Dance of Dragons expansion, where the story is moved further along, Daenerys becomes the top card, most powerful card, and you have a whole new, different set of names that would go further along in the story, like Daario and Grey Worm. So that's really cool. That's a good way to have both expansions still be relevant if you want to start the game further along but still play with the larger map. And so this is the new mechanic of the vassal system, which I obviously haven't played with yet, but from what I've read is the vassals aren't just completely neutral pushover systems anymore. They're their own, essentially non-human, they're a, they're a new way of having the other factions in case you don't have all 8 players, that it rotates who controls them and who gains their loyalty. And if they do fight, you play some of these not as tough Castilian cards for the vassals. So this is an additional setup if there are vassals, which is really interesting because actually it covers the whole area. So it really is as if they're still a faction in play, even if they're not controlled by human players. So this is very cool. I've heard this helps balance it out, because if you played a 4-player game or a 5-player game, whoever was next to the neutral system that didn't have anyone playing for it, it would be really easy to just take them over and be undisputed. So this is the new deck that goes along with the Targaryens, and so each turn they have a particular point where they are supposed to be winning hearts and minds of the people until they get enough victory points for essentially the uprising to have the Targaryens take over. This is definitely interesting. So like each turn they have different locations, so the different players will either try to defend those territories in order to keep the area loyal to the new non-Targaryen leaders. So I'm really looking forward to playing this and seeing if there's anything else that comes along.